Sometimes the most profound wisdom comes in the smallest packages. And today, we're diving into a short but incredibly powerful ancient text called the Moon Metaphor Sutra. We're going to see what its timeless advice on living with integrity can teach us about our own complex worlds. And really, it all kicks off with one single beautiful image. Just picture that for a second. The entire teaching starts right here. A full moon just moving through the empty sky, totally clear and unimpeded. It's bright, it's whole, and it is completely free. Now, this isn't just some nice poetry. It's actually a powerful metaphor for an ideal state of mind, a way of being that this text is going to encourage us to cultivate. So yeah, the sutra uses this image of the moon to represent the ideal way for a spiritual practitioner to be, one of total clarity and integrity. And look, this isn't some modern interpretation. We're going straight to the source. This is the Moon Metaphor Sutra itself, which is a record of a direct talk given by the Buddha. This is wisdom that's been carefully handed down for centuries. Okay, so let's really break this metaphor down. The moon is whole, right? Just like a person of integrity is complete in their values. It's pure, it's shining its own light, and it's not getting stained by the darkness around it. And it moves unimpeded, navigating the whole world without getting snagged or stuck on things. And that, right there, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to feel pure and clear when you're by yourself, meditating or just having a quiet moment. But what happens when you have to step into the messiness of daily life, with all its demands, its deadlines, its temptations? How do you keep from getting stained? And this brings us right to the heart of the matter, the challenge of engagement. How do we actually interact with the world, with all its complexities, without losing that inner clarity, that moon-like integrity? The sutra frames this in a very specific way. See, back in ancient India, monks wore these colored robes, but the lay people, regular folks with families and jobs and all that, they wore white. So this phrase, entering the white-robed houses, is really just a metaphor for engaging with the everyday secular world. The real question is, how do you do that and still stay true to your principles? Now, before giving the answer, the Buddha offers up another really compelling image. Think about a skilled hiker on a dangerous mountain path. Because they can see everything clearly. They see the loose rocks, the pitfalls, the safe places to step. They can move without fear. It's a brilliant way to show that the key isn't to avoid the world, but to learn to see it with profound clarity. So what does that clarity actually look like in practice? Well, the Buddha gives a very precise, very direct instruction on the exact mindset you need to navigate the world with that kind of integrity. He boils it all down to 3 specific qualities. 3 ways your mind should be when you step out the door each day. First step, unattached. This is all about your relationship with external results. So you can work your heart out on a project, you can help a friend, but you don't tie your sense of who you are to the outcome, to whether you get praised or get a reward. You engage completely, but your inner peace doesn't depend on it. Second, unbound. This is about your internal freedom. It means you're not chained down by rigid opinions or old grudges or constant anxiety about what might happen next. You're not all tangled up in the past or the future, and that lets you be fully present and flexible right now. And third, ungrasping. This is the active state of letting go. It's about not trying to control every single situation, not trying to possess people or experiences. You interact with the world with an open hand, not a clenched fist. And to make this crystal clear, the Buddha does something that is just amazing. He simply gestures to the empty space in the room and asks his followers that question. And of course, the answer is no. You can't stay in the air. You can't tie it up in knots. You can't grab a handful of it. That, he says, is what your mind should be like. Completely open, clear, and untouchable. So then, the sutra pivots to this really fascinating, related topic. It's not just about how you act, but why you act. Specifically, what's the real motivation behind sharing wisdom or even just helping other people? And the text draws a really sharp line in the sand here. An impure motivation is basically transactional. You give something so you can get something back, whether that's money or recognition or status. And the Buddha warns that this path ultimately just leads to more attachment. A pure teaching, on the other hand, comes from a place of genuine compassion. The only goal is to help others and make sure that wisdom survives. So where does this pure motivation even come from? Well, the text says it's not just some vague, nice feeling. It comes from a real, true understanding of the teachings. It comes from a genuine wish to see other people be free from suffering, and from a deep desire to make sure this valuable wisdom sticks around for a long, long time. It's a motivation that is totally selfless. Okay, so let's bring it all home. What is the big takeaway from all of this? How do we connect this ancient wisdom back to our lives right here, right now, in the 21st century? The text really doesn't mince words. It says that acting from this place of pure, compassionate intention, it isn't just a nice idea. It is the highest, the purest, and the truest way to live and to act in the world. Period. And it all wraps up with a direct instruction. This isn't just a nice story or a philosophy to admire from afar. The Buddhist final words in the sutra are a straight-up call to action. This is how you should learn. This is what you should practice. Which leaves all of us with a really powerful question to reflect on. You know, when we go to work, when we interact with our families, when we post something online, what's really driving us? Are we doing it for personal gain? Or are we acting from a place of compassion? Are we trying to grasp and control things? Or is our mind like that full moon, moving clear and unimpeded through the empty sky?